Hello, 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 everyone. Please do me a favor, everyone, and let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes the tech ends up being a little bit not cooperative, if you will. So let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me okay, and we can get started. Yeah, I think you can see me. Can you see my slide? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me clearly? Do you need me to go closer to the mic over here? First and foremost, Lorna, I'd love to thank you for inviting me to your group to speak to these amazing people that you have here. It's such a privilege to be here. Thank you so much. I'm going to be getting into my story a little bit. Lisa says, I can hear you. Excellent. Excellent. It's always like the most nerve-wracking part when you go live and you don't know if they can see you, hear you, and you just end up talking to yourself. So Lisa, thank you so much. Lorna says, I can see you and hear you. Excellent. So grateful for everyone. They say you're a little blurry. Let's hope that that clears up. But we're going to start now. I'm going to go full screen. You should be able to see my screen. And yeah, so a little backstory before we begin. I teach Instagram a little differently than everyone else does. And I did this by noticing a little shift happening in the way that people are approaching their content. We got some awesome people coming in here. Kiana, how's it going? Raquel, how's it going? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So welcome, everyone. This is the 7 laws of Instagram. Now, I created the 7 laws when I noticed, like I said, the shift happening in the way that people were approaching their marketing when it comes to Instagram. And what worked, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it doesn't necessarily work today. And now more than ever, I feel that it's more important now than ever to really understand these 7 laws of Instagram. And as you can see there, it says, learn how following the 7 laws is going to help you attract more clients, which is something that we all want right now. Patricia, what's going on? Tawanda, how's it going? Engage with your ideal customers, because we all want more customers. And here's the kicker: get you paid without needing more followers. That should blow your mind right there, because John, we all want more followers. That's what we all want, right? Everybody wants more followers. Everybody wants that letter K beside the number, right? But I'm here to tell you that that might not necessarily be what you're looking for. Now, if this sounds like you, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know, because I'd love to really deliver you the content that you're really needing right now. This is amazing. Some amazing people are coming here. I have to look at my phone. I don't know if you can see this. I have my phone over here. So I'm streaming on Zoom. I'm looking at my phone right now. This is amazing. We got some amazing people here. Dee in here. We got Vanessa in here. Patricia, what's going on? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So without further ado, let's get started. Hi, Louisa. Here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, Miranda, what's going on? You are in the right place if you are a business owner, course creator, or coach who just gets sucked into, mindless scrolling that robs you of your productivity. So let me know in the comments if you're ever on Instagram and by the time you're done, it's like, an hour has passed and you haven't even done anything. You know what I mean? So let me know if that resonates with you. That you are in the right place if you are an entrepreneur that feels overwhelmed with creating content. How many of you have trouble creating content? You feel pressured to be consistent. I got to post every single day. Today is Motivation Monday. Got to put up that post. And tomorrow's going to be Taco Tuesday. And we're going to have to post, right? So you're in the right place if you feel pressured like that, right? To be consistent, and you just can't help but notice how far ahead other experts are and how far ahead they seem to be in your industry. Let me know if this resonates with you. I'm getting a bunch of yeses. You guys are amazing. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. We got yes. We got me. We got absolutely. This is beautiful. You are in the right place if you are frustrated of seeing the numbers of followers, of your followers, go up and down and up and down and up and down. And listen, you're not alone. This is just part of the game, okay? We got so many amazing people here. You're in the right place if your engagement is at an all-time low and you feel like no matter what you post, all you hear are crickets, right? I'm not going to do a cricket sound effect. You guys can use your imagination, but you know what I'm talking about here. So here's what you're going to be learning hanging out with me today. Okay, we're going to take an individual look at the 7 laws of Instagram, and very importantly, how following the 7 laws is going to help you build your tribe, share your message, and more importantly, get you paid. We're going to be talking about how to show up as your authentic self. Here's the kicker: backed by the confidence needed to turn your, listen to this, to turn your already existing followers into raving fans. Let me know in the comments, how many of you would love to turn your already existing followers into raving fans without the need for wanting more followers? Everybody's saying, that's me. This is great. You're going to learn how Instagram marketing has evolved. This is the evolution that I was talking about, and why you need to as well, right? There's a lot of things changing nowadays, right? In order to be able to listen to this, this is important because this is going to help a lot of you. Why you need to change in order to post less to your feed, spend less time on the platform, all while making more money and more impact. How amazing does that sound? How amazing does it sound? The less you do, the more you'll make. That's amazing. Everybody's like raising their hands in the comment. This is fantastic. You guys are great. You're also going to learn how to ethically grow your following without any shady methods, with the intention of creating real relationships with your followers. Now, how many of you have seen or have been approached by, I don't know, you get a DM and it's a bot, and it's like, they're trying to sell you something that you've never even heard of, or you don't even know this person, and they're commenting on your stuff, like, random emojis or great picture or great content. They're just meaningless content that you think, wow, my engagement's finally great. But then when you go look at it, it's like, it's just some sort of shady bot. You know what I mean? Somebody trying to sell you Bitcoin or something like that. Happens all the time. It's part of the game. But let me tell you, this training is not for you if all you're looking is more followers, because let me tell you, and I'll get into my story, but I'll give you a little sneak peek. I have grown an Instagram account to over 200,000 followers. And I'm going to be the first one to tell you that more followers is not the answer, right? This training is also not for you if you're not committed to showing up, doing the work, getting the results, just being involved. You know what I mean? People are saying, and I also have a fun reward for everybody till hanging out to the very end, right? You're going to get my ultimate script for turning your followers into customers playbook. Now, when I designed this script, I actually designed it when I created my first course called IG Mastery, and I used this script in order to sell out the founding members. And this script is going to be yours. All you have to do is just hang out to the end. So a little bit about my story now, which is great because I love telling my story. Who doesn't love talking about themselves, right? So I want to tell you how Instagram has changed my life. Now, Instagram has allowed me to attract my ideal clients. It's been amazing for connecting with people. It's been amazing for creating real relationships and meaningful relationships, and making friends and growing my business with my ideal clients, which has been amazing, right? Lorna says, thank you for doing this for my group. Lorna, thank you for inviting me into your group, for me to be able to do this. Instagram has also allowed me to start a vlog on my Instagram stories and my IGTV. Now, a lot of you probably know that vlogging is something that you do on YouTube, right? YouTube has been something that vlogging has been known for. But I ended up taking that content creation, the idea of vlogging, and I've brought it over to my Instagram and IGTV. And when I started this vlog, it's telling the story of my day-to-day life in video format. And I found that there's no faster way than to get your audience to know who you are, what you're all about, what business you are, then to show up consistently, authentically, and in video format is a great way to connect with your audience. Out of curiosity, let me know if video is something that you're scared of, if you're not 100% confident in going live, and not just live, just even recorded video. So let me know if that's you. Instagram has also allowed me to be creative with my content. As you can see there, I have my picture that I created. I usually create these pictures when I'm promoting something and I need somebody to really stop scrolling in their feed, and so I can grab their attention. So it allows me to be creative. It allows me to really think outside the box and express myself on a creative note. And I'm going to be name dropping here. I've worked with some amazing brands and people. How many of you know who Lewis Howes is, right? How many of you know who Gary Vee is? So when I started Instagram and growing my page and really turning it into a media platform, which is what I'm going to be talking to you about, I ended up working with some amazing people like Lewis Howes and Gary Vaynerchuk, and I'm going to name some other people: Ty Lopez, Andy Frisilla, Grant Cardone, some really amazing people who have millions of followers now, but allowed me to work with some of these great people, right? Gary Vee, I did a K-Swiss campaign with him. As you can see there, I'm wearing his shoes, and his team reached out to me and, hey, John, we love your stuff. Do you think that you'd be able to promote our products and kind of be like what's it called? Almost like an ambassador, kind of a representative of the product itself. And I was obviously, yeah, of course, I want to work for Gary Vee. That's amazing. So I ended up doing that. What a great experience that was. So let me tell you my story, because I'm going to bet a lot of money that you're going to be able to relate to my story, because over the years, I've realized that a lot of people's stories are very similar to one another. A lot of people, they really resonate with what I'm about to tell you. So let me know if this is you. I used to be a construction worker, right? And back in 2014, I was a construction worker. I started 10 years ago on a construction site. That's a picture of me on my last day of work. And because I was doing work that was not fulfilling, and let me know in the comments if you've ever had a job that was never fulfilling. If you ever dreaded waking up in the morning because you just couldn't bear another day of that dreadful job that you had, right? I became deeply depressed. And if you know me, you'll know that, John Ferrara won't even go, 30 seconds without even smiling, let alone I went 6 months without even cracking a smile. And it was a very dark time in my life, and the work I was doing was very repetitive, so there was no room for creativity. It was just the same thing over and over again, and I knew that I needed a way out. And what's even worse is the people around me were in the same boat as me. So in retrospect, I was almost looking into my future. Everybody around me had been on the same path as I was. So looking into my future was a very scary thing that I had to experience. So I became very depressed, and I knew that I needed a way out. And because I had nobody to turn to, I began studying. I began studying books. And from everything that I don't know if you can see the library behind me, but with everything that I have experienced, everything that I've learned in these books, what I did was I created a YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel allowed me to share everything that I've learned from the books that I've read, from the seminars that I've listened to, from the audio programs that I've invested in. I used to go to sleep with earphones in my ear, and I would play things while I slept. Guys, let me know in the comments if this resonates with you at all. Let me know if this resonates in the fact of, you're in a job that you dislike so much, but you're kind of, confused or you've experienced like some sort of confusion around, you don't know where to turn to, or you didn't know where to turn to, because we're all pretty much like entrepreneurs now. But if you ever experience a time in your life, you'll know that it's a very uncertain and scary time, right? So I started this YouTube channel under the name Success Messenger, and you can see over there, it says 5 years ago that these videos have been uploaded. And I used to learn things, and I thought to myself, well, now that I have all this knowledge and all this information, where am I going to turn to? So I turned to YouTube, and I started making videos. And once a week, I would post videos. And these videos got some traction. I got some views, but growing the YouTube channel, it was very difficult. It was a very slow and intensive process, because making a video is not an easy thing to do, right? So I started this channel under the name Success Messenger, and then I discovered Instagram. And as you can see there, I started the Instagram account Success Messenger, and I ended up growing the page to over 200,000 followers. And then before I knew it, I had a full-out, blown-out media company business. And I ended up creating an income that I was finally able to leave that job that I hated so much. Side note, because this is very important, and I'm going to continue saying this until you understand it. I have had the ability to grow an account to over 200,000 followers. But let me tell you again, the amount of followers does not equal the amount of success that you will have. So just keep that in mind as I go on. So let me tell you that, creating an Instagram account and posting a picture was a lot easier than making a full-fledged video. And then when I saw the growth on Instagram and how fast it was compared to YouTube, that's when I became obsessed. And then I started doing my research when it comes to Instagram. I knew that it was time for me to shift and stop. I don't know if you can see here, I had a logo over there. I was hiding behind the logo. And I knew that it was time for people to see my face. I knew that it was time for people to see my own. I wanted to create a personal brand under the name John Ferrara so people can connect with me. But we'll get into why I was hiding behind the logo a little later on. And remember, if you remember, I asked you, are you afraid to go on video? Is anybody afraid to show up as their own authentic self, right? So I knew it was time that I created my personal brand and help other entrepreneurs use Instagram to grow their own business. So fast forward to today, because what a journey it was. I've become the founder of my membership group, Mind Over Media. I've learned how to make more money with less followers, right? Tawanda says, you got to put your face in the place. Absolutely. Amen. Can I get an amen? Can you write amen in the comments to that one? I've taught thousands of people how to effectively use Instagram for their business, all while creating real relationships and meaningful relationships, which is even better. See, my entire life, or even my just not my business, but my entire life didn't just change, that just started, right? The moment I chose Instagram as my platform of choice to create content and market my business. Everybody's saying amen in the comments. That's it. And trust me, if I can do it, so can you. Listen, I wasn't a tech whiz. Let me know in the comments if tech is something that scares you. I know it scares a lot of people, especially a lot of my students. They're scared of tech, right? In fact, I'll even tell you something. We got amens from everybody. I'll even tell you something. I hadn't touched a computer 5 years prior to when I discovered Instagram. I was completely out of the loop when it came to tech. So if you're someone who struggles with tech and you're not necessarily confident in that area, trust me, it's not going to stop you at all. And even though I might be just like a tad bit more experienced than you, I want you to still, I want you to still know that I understand the frustration, of gaining and losing the followers and the drop of engagement and just sometimes not knowing what to post, because I'll be straight up with you. Even I sometimes don't know what to post when it comes to posting to Instagram, but we'll get into that a little bit later and how you can approach that. So before we continue, we got some people who are not tech savvy at all. This is amazing. Couple things to keep in mind before we continue. Number one, I would love for you to get out of your own way, meaning up here, get out of your own way. And it's about taking action. And even if it's just, one little action, baby steps, that's it. And I want you to know that, Instagram marketing begins with you and you alone. So I want you to develop an Instagram marketing mindset during this whole training, and you'll understand why as we continue. And it says, I'm good with tech, but I am too shy. I'm too shy. That's okay. That's okay. We'll fix that. So here we are. Is everybody excited to learn the 7 laws of Instagram? These laws are going to literally change the way you look at things. And you're going to notice how different this training is than a lot of the other trainings that you may have seen or a lot of the things that you may have heard. If you're ready, type yes in the comments and let's get right into it. Law number 1 is to know thy audience. I get chills starting this part of the presentation. I get chills. The feedback that I've gotten from this is great. Everybody's saying they're ready. This is amazing. Law number 1 is to know thy audience. See, knowing your audience in detail will literally eliminate 80% of your frustration on Instagram. Why? I'll tell you why. Because you'll know exactly what kind of content to create for them. If you know who you're creating content for, what their struggles are, what they want to see, you'll know how to create that content. And you'll know how to speak directly to them in a relatable way. Most people don't know what to post because they just don't know what their audience wants to see. They don't know who they're posting for. And let me tell you, the more clear you are on who you're posting for, the better and easier it will be to create content for them. Imagine, Victoria says, I have my pen and notebook. Awesome. Imagine how much easier it is if you knew what Sally was struggling with. And if you had something to help her out with, imagine how much easier that could be. So let me tell you, if you want to attract more followers and more ideal clients or customers, then you must first know who they are in detail. But how do you figure that out? Great question. You're going to need to do a little bit of research. So there's a few things that you can do. Usually I keep the Q&As to the end, but we're all very chill tonight. This is a very chill night that we're doing here. How do you do that? There's a couple things. Number 1, you need to know who your target audience is. And I would strongly recommend that you create some sort of avatar. Give this person a name, know how old they are, where they work, their gender, if that applies, where they work, or if they own a business, or where they hang out, what their hobbies are. And once you've come up with this person, then you need to know what they're struggling with. And how do you do that? We're all part of Facebook groups. Go into Facebook groups and just kind of see what your audience is talking about. What are they struggling with? What do they really want to know? What questions do they have that need to be answered? Or another way of doing this, and I don't usually tell everybody this, but consider yourself lucky tonight. If you go on Amazon and you look up books, I don't know if you've heard this before, but if you look up books and you see the ratings of the book in your industry, in your niche, let's say you look up, there's a lot of event planners in this group. So let's say you look up a book on event planning and see the 1 or 2 or 3 star ratings. Let me tell you what's going to happen. When somebody leaves a 1 or 2 or 3 star rating, especially the 3 star, 3 star is kind of, I like the book, I don't like the book. They're going to tell you why they don't like the book and what they thought the book was going to talk about, what they thought the book was going to help them with. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Obviously, you're going to need to get to know your ideal clients, right? You're going to have to know your audience, but you just need to know one person. A lot of people, they say, John, my product or service can help anyone. But let me tell you, and write this down if you agree, write this down. Those of you who are taking notes. If you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. If you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. You need to niche down. You need to know who you're serving. The better you know your audience, the better you'll be able to create content. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is law number 1. Know thy audience. Law number 2 is to post with purpose. Let me ask you a question. Do you ever feel like you're posting to Instagram just because you feel like I have to post, or else everybody is going to forget about me, or else everybody is going to not remember who I am? I'm going to become irrelevant. Does that ever feel like, does that ever feel something like that you've experienced before? Or, let me explain. If you put an intention behind what you post, then you can actually post less to your feed while creating a bigger impact. Well, how does that work, John? How do I post less and get more out of it? Let me tell you how. A post with an intention behind it, that means something of value, something of substance. I don't want you to post your lunch today and say, Taco Tuesday, here's my lunch. Do you get what I'm saying? How is that benefiting your audience? How is that valuable? I might offend some people here, but nobody cares what you had for lunch yesterday or today or any day, really. They're following you for different reasons. Unless you're like a chef. Unless you're a chef, then this is totally does not apply to you, right? But if you're just posting your lunch because I feel like I have to post because I didn't post today and today's Tuesday and tacos start with T and Tuesday starts with T, so Taco Tuesday, it's not going to work. There's no substance. There's no real value. No one is going to look at it and say, wow, what a taco. Get what I mean? But let me tell you something. If you put purpose behind your post, or you post something of value, or something that serves your audience, or something that answers a question, or something that sparks an emotion, then what's going to happen is this. Your posts are going to be perceived as higher value, as they should, because they are, because you backed it by purpose, right? You backed it by purpose. Now your posts have substance to it. Now they have value to it. So what happens when your audience sees? I got some people laughing. I love when I make people laugh. When your audience sees your content and the content that's more value, what happens is they begin to engage with it. So here's what I'm saying. To post less and get more out of it, you post less, but make sure what you're posting has purpose. Make sure that there's purpose behind it. And higher valued content will increase the amount of engagement, and the algorithm will look at the content and say this, wow, Tawanda's post is doing really great. Look at all the people that it's serving. Look at all the people that love this. I'm going to show more people. You see how the algorithm works? A lot of people think that the algorithm is against them, but really the algorithm is, and let me know if anybody here is into the law of attraction, but the algorithm is just like the law of attraction. It gives you more of what you want, right? The algorithm is designed to keep you on Instagram. So it's just going to pump more content that it thinks that you want to see, so you stay longer on the app. Does it make sense? So when you post with purpose, Jennifer, you're very welcome. She says, thanks for doing this. When you post with purpose, then what happens is that you're able to post less and the algorithm will keep you visible for longer. It starts to make sense now, does it? Higher engaged, higher value content will increase the engagement and increase your visibility. Always post with purpose. And I'll tell you something else. If you have only something valuable and you're only able to post 2 or 3 times a week, post 2-3 times a week. Don't post every day. I'd rather you post less with high quality content than post more and lose that quality, because burnout is a very real thing. Take it from me. So you'll also see that these laws connect with each other. And the connecting law to this is law number 1, because if you don't know your audience, you don't know how to post with purpose. Let's go to the next one. This is great. I'm getting goosebumps. Law number 3, know thyself. This is a powerful, powerful, powerful law. Let me know. Have you ever tried to be someone you're not on Instagram or on any social media platform? Let me tell you a quote before we continue. There's a quote, and I forget who says it, but it's not important. What's important is the actual quote itself. Okay, so the quote is, I am not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. Does that make sense? I am not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. Let me tell you a story. When I first started on YouTube, Lorna, you'll like this one. When I first started on YouTube, I was studying other YouTube professionals and YouTube people that have been on YouTube for a while. And because I wanted to know what created a successful YouTube channel. Right? So when I started looking for other people, I started modeling them, because one of the things I learned in the books that I've read is modeling is the fastest way to achieve success. Any Tony Robbins fans in here? Any Tony Robbins? Lisa said this is good info. Thank you, Lisa. You are a good student. So Tony Robbins says the quickest way to achieve success is find somebody who has the results you want and you model them. Success leaves clues. That's what I did. But what I failed to realize is that I modeled a little bit too much and I lost my own uniqueness. I found somebody who's from Texas. Lorna, this is where the joke comes in. I found someone who's from Texas and I started to model them to the point where I started speaking like them. I developed like this Southern accent, and I'm from Toronto, Canada, like way off, right? So I found that so funny, and the video is still up there only because I don't want to take it down, because I love watching the journey and the growth and where I've been and where I am now. So I keep it up there to laugh at myself, and not only laugh, but just to see the journey, right? So I am guilty of pretending to be someone I'm not, straight up. Okay. And, maybe you've pretended your life was maybe just a little bit more glamorous, posting the pictures of the best of the best, right? So maybe you spoke a different way because you thought people would accept you more, kind of like what I did. April says, wait, I'm from Texas. Yeah, April, I'm pretty sure I don't have a Southern accent. Let me give it some water first. When you start talking a lot, your voice starts going on you. So maybe you spoke different because you thought people will like you a little bit more. You lose that authenticity, right? Maybe you were hiding parts of your life because you thought they were too embarrassing to share. Let me know if this is you in the comments, right? Let me know if this is you in the comments. Have you ever hid a part of your life? And keep in mind, if you remember in the beginning, I told you I was creating daily vlogs. So I was bringing people into my household to meet my son and my wife and all that stuff. Pooja says, thank you for your honesty. It's good to know that there are some authentic people out there. Keep it up. Well, you keep it up as well. Thank you so much. See, number 3, the third law is self-awareness. Such a powerful thing to have. Knowing who you truly are at your core. Believe me when I say, a lot of people don't necessarily know who they are because they're too busy worrying what people are going to say about them. So they don't end up giving themselves the opportunity to show up as their own authentic selves. And who said it? Punja said, you can only fake it for so long until you reach burnout. How long can you pretend to be someone you're not? Right? So self-awareness is the third law. It's knowing what your values are. It's knowing your morals. It's knowing what you stand for and what you believe in, right? Being true to yourself. It's about knowing your weaknesses and your strengths. Now, let me give you an example. If your weakness is procrastination, what happens? I know I'm going to procrastinate. Therefore, if I don't finish this file tonight, I know that I'm going to put it off until it becomes a must and I have to do it. Therefore, with the self-awareness, I'm able to do it right now. Self-awareness is very powerful. Self-awareness is knowing your message. It's knowing your story. It's knowing your business at its core. So if you know thyself, you'll know exactly how to show up on Instagram every single day on your feed and in Instagram stories. And not only show up, but with the confidence to stand proud in who you are, because you should be proud. Every single one of you should be very proud. I talk really close to the mic to emphasize my points. Law number 4, great law. Keep your eyes on the prize. And I would love to know if anybody here can really relate to this. Let's talk about a little thing called comparisonitis. Now, I don't know if I made up the word. I most likely did not. I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere. But comparisonitis is when you just can't help but creep the other person who's in your space, who's just killing it, and they seem to be miles ahead of you. Law number 4, keep your eyes on the prize. Comparisonitis is when you get sucked into spending your precious and valuable time looking at their picture perfect feeds and wondering why you are not where they are, or even worse, if you'll even get there. Does that make sense to you? I was this. I was 100% this. I wouldn't have included this as a law if I didn't live it myself. So a good way to look at this is to go back to law number 3, is to know thyself and ask yourself this very important question that's actually going to save you a lot of time using the Instagram app. And those of you who have iPhones, you have the screen time that comes up and the little notification comes up and you're like, oh, damn, I just spent 8 hours today on social media and doing all this stuff. I didn't even know. So to keep your eyes on the prize, before you even open up Instagram, you want to ask yourself this question. Am I currently using Instagram to consume content or to create content? The answer to that question will not only keep you grounded, but it's going to allow you to spend less time on Instagram while getting more accomplished. How many of you have gone on Instagram? Hey, I'm going to post today. I got this awesome post, so much packed value. It's amazing. I can't wait to do it. You open up the Instagram app. Oh, that picture looks kind of cool, and that looks kind of cool too. And oh, look at her. She's doing great. And before you know it, like 15, 20, 30, 40, an hour goes by, right? You haven't even posted yet. And what? Now what? Now you've wasted an hour. You haven't even posted because you couldn't keep your eyes on the prize, because you went on expecting to create content, but meanwhile, you ended up consuming content. Not just your content, somebody else's content. I know this because I've done it. I'm only human and I've done it. but I know that there's a lot of people in here who also do it. So the connecting law to this is to know thyself. Because if you know yourself and you have that self-awareness, then you'll be able to ask yourself that question. Am I going on here to consume other people's content, to become distracted, to start comparing myself to their stuff, to seeing other people's pictures and their lives as why are they going on their 5th vacation of the year and I'm still here struggling eating mac and cheese? No offense to mac and cheese. You get what I'm saying? Law number 4 is to keep your eyes on the prize. Law number 5 is to give before you receive. How many of you, this isn't just like an Instagram law, this is the universal law. So when I was doing all that studying, I read a book called The Law of Compensation by Napoleon Hill. I'm sorry, it's called The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill, and the law was called The Law of Compensation. Let me know if you read that book. Let me know if you read the book, The Law of Success. And the Law of Success was Think and Grow Rich before Think and Grow Rich was written, right? Think and Grow Rich was a condensed version of the Law of Success. And the Law of Success is like a phone book. I read it cover to cover. I'll never read it again. It took so long. But to give before you receive, you cannot ask for anything. So the law states that you must give something in order for you to receive it. It's not just on Instagram. This is a universal law. First, you must give, then you can receive. Let me ask you, how many of you heard the story? Do you remember, anybody here remember wood stoves, the heating stoves that would heat up your house, but you'd have to like put wood in it, start a fire, and it would heat up? This is old school, before we had furnaces and all that stuff. So it's like the story of the man who went up to the furnace and he said, hey, first you are going to give me the heat, then I am going to put the wood in. No, first you put the wood in, then you can get the heat. First you must give, then you can receive. So when it comes to your audience, you should never ask your audience to buy your product or service without delivering massive value first. How many of you, and let me know in the comments because this is a very real thing, how many of you have ever been DM'd by someone you don't know trying to sell you something? I get it all the time. Louisa says, give and it shall be given unto you. Absolutely. It's biblical. You find it in the Bible. Now you know where these laws are universal. You'll see how they apply to everything. I'm not just giving you an Instagram course or an Instagram training. This is like an all-around business life, everything just gooed up into one beautiful presentation. I'm loving this, right? So everybody's saying yes, 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 you know, like, oh my God, I hate that, right? When somebody just tries to sell you something, first of all, you don't know who they are. Second of all, I don't even know what you're trying to sell me. What the hell is Bitcoin, right? Happens all the time. They need to first know, like, and trust you. You must first develop a relationship with your followers. This is law. I'm not making this up. This isn't a suggestion. This isn't a, you know, you probably should be doing this. This is law. They need to first know, like, and trust you. You must first develop a relationship. They need to feel, and this is like sales psychology 101. They need to feel, and look at this. They need to feel that what you are selling to them is worth more than the money they're giving you. They need to feel that what you're selling, your product or service, is worth more than the money that they are giving you. The one that says people do business with people they like. Absolutely. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. So do not let me catch you selling to your audience if you have not delivered massive value first. And they make the purchase when they see the value before they make the purchase. Or else how are they going to know that your product or service is a right fit for them? It's law. First, you must give before you receive. And that is law number 5. And the connecting law to this, right, is to post with purpose. The connecting law is law number 2. Because if you don't post with purpose, the purpose or the intention behind the content is to deliver the value. See how these laws build up on each other? It's a beautiful thing. Law number 6. But John, you just asked us, you just told us that we're not allowed to ask. No, that's not what I said. Law number 6 is you must always ask for what you want. That's also in the Bible. Ask and ye shall receive. Am I right? But never ask before you deliver the value. See, not a lot of people are asking for the sale on Instagram. People say to me, John, this Instagram stuff is not working out for me. Why? Why is it not working out? And I say, well, how many people have you asked to buy your stuff? None, or 1, or 2. What kind of results do you want to get if you're only asking 0 to 2 people? Not enough people are selling. Not enough people. And let me, full disclosure, I understand that selling can feel salesy or it doesn't feel right in your body. But let me tell you that we are all entrepreneurs, and you better get comfortable with being uncomfortable with sales. You have to learn how to sell. But let me tell you something. Instead of looking at it as selling, look at it as serving. You come from a place of service. And just because there's a transaction doesn't mean that it should feel salesy or it should feel gross or icky or anything like that. Because you can be proud for you've just delivered all this value. And let me tell you that no one is just going to come up to you and say, hey, Victoria, hey, Louisa, hey, Ivy, hey, April, take my money. Just take it. You didn't ask me for anything. You didn't ask me to buy anything. I'm just throwing money at you. That's it. Just throwing money at you, right? No one's going to do that. Who's going to do that? Nobody, right? You need to ask people to buy. You have to. So in order to increase your sales, wow, what a concept. You need to increase the amount of times you're asking, right? See, like I said, you don't have to feel salesy about this. Have a conversation inside your direct messages. And if you've offered enough value, which law number 5 tells you to do, give before you receive, then you can feel confident in asking for the sale, right? You can feel confident in asking for the sale. You just delivered massive value to them. Of course, you can ask. But one thing's for sure. If you don't ask, they won't buy. Simple as that. And I think it's a very important thing to really become aware. And going back to that law number 2, law number 3, know thyself. Feel how it feels like in your body to really feel what it's like to sell your product or service, and then work on that. Work on your communication. And if you know your audience, here's a little hint that I usually don't teach. I'm going really deep for you guys. When you're communicating with your audience, it's a great way to even use the language that your audience uses, the same vocabulary, the same words. Because when you use the same language as your audience, you'll be able to connect with them on a much deeper level and on a level that they'd be able to understand even more. So the connecting law to this, obviously, is to give before you receive, because you can't ask if you haven't given. Michelle says, sometimes when you ask, they're ready to charge. Yeah, sometimes, but that's okay. If what I understand from your comment is that they're ready to charge me, like they're getting upset with you asking. That's fine. They're not your ideal audience or your ideal client or customer anyway, because your ideal audience would not get upset for you to sell them. Therefore, they are not your ideal audience. Okay, little moment of silence for this one. This is my favorite one, and I'll explain why. Law number 7 is to be, feel, and speak your truth. Law number 7, be, feel, and speak your truth. See, we talked about this already. People like people who are like them. So you need to let your followers see the real you. You need to let your followers see who you are on a deeper level. Ladies and gentlemen, during this whole, I don't want to talk about it, but I'll mention it now, pandemic that we're experiencing, and seems like it's becoming the norm almost, a lot of change has happened. A lot of people are turning to social media in order to connect. A lot of offline businesses have found their way onto social media in order to connect with their audience. See, now is a more important time than ever for you to be your true, authentic, transparent self. There's something that I call the BS meter, and everybody has one. And let me know if you have one yourself. Let me know how strong yours is. When somebody goes on live and they're being fake or they're being phony, or you could just sense it. 10, 15 years ago, when someone would be on the internet, they can pretty much be anybody they wanted to be, and you would just accept it as truth. But now, with this BS meter that everybody has adapted into their being, we're able to spot fakes from a mile away. It's just the world we live in now. So what does that mean? It means that social media has the ability to amplify who you already are, because you deserve to feel proud of who you are inside and out. See, when you speak your truth to the world, when you speak to your audience of what you're most vulnerable about, your strengths, your weaknesses, when you speak and you stand proud and you put whatever you're most afraid of out into the universe, when you just speak it out, you literally remove the feeling of being judged. I'll explain my story in a bit, but this cannot ring more true to me than it's ever been. When you talk about that elephant in the room, or when you talk about things, see, your truth is your truth. No one can deny your truth. When you speak your truth, 1 + 1 is 2. Do you get what I'm saying? Who can contradict your truth? It's your truth. So when you get up and you speak to your audience, and when you say things with passion, when you say things with ultimate certainty, this is who I am, take it or leave it, you'll begin to attract more people. And nobody can contradict who you truly are. They can't, because it's truth. The truth will set you free. The truth will amplify, will connect you with more people. But you got to be comfortable about your truth. You see, people now can sense inauthenticity. We talked about that BS meter. We can spot when someone's being fake from a mile away. And I don't want you to fall into the trap of just keeping up with others, because it's just going to hold you back. No one can contradict your truth, right? If you're being authentic, if you're being genuine, you will be supported. There is no other way. And let me explain how I know this. This is my story of truth. When I was the age of 14, I began to lose my hair. That's a picture of me right there with my son. Isn't he so cute? So that's my son, Carmelo, his name is. At the age of 14, I lost my hair. And if you can imagine, an Italian kid just starting high school, losing his hair already. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease called alopecia. And I became so embarrassed of who I was. I didn't want people to look at me differently. I didn't want people to think I was broken. I didn't want people to treat me any differently. I didn't want people to think that what I had was contagious or even just really, I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be confident. So, going through life, hiding from everyone, wearing my caps. Now it's become a brand thing. But back then it was like I was hiding from the world. I didn't want to be seen. If there was a crowd of people, I was like in the corner of the room because I didn't want anybody to look at me, because if they looked at me, maybe they would say, "Hey, what's up with you? Hey, what's going on?" So I worked these jobs, and I worked, I was a mechanic for a while, and I was in the construction, like I said, and now it comes for John Ferrara to be on Instagram and to be some sort of public figure or influencer. And I grew my Instagram account to over 200,000 people. But let me tell you something. I did that hiding behind a logo. I hid behind the logo because I was too embarrassed to show my face. One of my biggest fears was going live on Instagram. A lot of you guys know what alopecia is. That's awesome. That's great. Where was I? One of my biggest fears was, going on Instagram live and just talking just to a group of people like I'm doing with you, and someone stop and look at me and say, "Hey, what's wrong with your hair? What's up with your eyebrows? How come you don't have any eyelashes? What's going on with you?" That would have crushed me. So I allowed the judgment of others. I allowed the fear take over. And I hid. And I hid. And I hid. And I got some results. I'm not going to lie. I got a few results. I made some money. I ended up leaving my job, which was awesome. But if you looked back, I said in 2018, I started to show up as who I was authentically. But it wasn't until, and I started, gaining some confidence, and I started showing myself more on video and pictures and allowing people to really get to know somewhat me. I had a little bit of a wall up. But then, and this is where law number 7 comes in, to be, feel, and speak your truth, because this is why it's my favorite law, and this is why this is everything. I decided it was time to speak my truth and tell the story of what was holding me back. Now, if you think John Ferrara was hiding for 25 years prior to this very moment, 25 years of hiding, 25 years of not having a voice because he was afraid of what people might say, or people might put him down, or people might think he's a little weird, people might think he looks funny. Until I posted this picture that you're seeing right now. I posted this picture without my hat and a 5,000 word caption that was so long it had to continue into the first comments. And I told them everything. I laid it all out on the table. This is my story. This is what I've experienced. Because I knew something was going to change the moment I did that. And this is why I tell you, the response that I got was exactly how I thought it would be. There has never been a time in my life where I had gotten more support, more love, more belonging, more affection, more acceptance, more connection. There's never been another time in my life. The freeing feeling that I've received, and let me tell you, as I was typing this caption and telling my story, even before I posted it, even before I tapped post, I could already feel the love. I can already feel my truth setting me free. And as I spoke it into the universe, I literally single-handedly removed the idea of judgment, allowing me to grow my business even more, allowing me to go on camera just the way you see me. Hey, take it or leave it. This is who I am. You don't like me, you don't like me. You love me, you love me. I'm going to give it to you either way. I'm going to serve you either way. Makes no difference to me what you feel. And if you don't like me, I'm just going to love you even more because I love myself now. But this is why this is so powerful, because when you speak your truth out into the world, the judgment disappears. You're able to do more. You eliminate your own limitations up here. Do you know how much I was holding myself back because I was too afraid to speak? My business went like this. It's going to have to go like this because I'm opposite. My business went like this. It was going up, it was doing better. It was doing better. Then when I spoke my truth, it was like up. Crazy. Right? And I thank you, everybody in the comments, for supporting this. And I thank you for telling me how you resonate and how you agree with this, because this is truth. This is power, right? Ivy says powerful. This is who I am. Yeah, we're all like this. We're all like this. So I would love to recap the 7 laws for everyone. Law number 1 is to know thy audience. Law number 2, post with purpose. Law number 3 is to know thyself. Law number 4, keep your eyes on the prize. Law number 5, thank you for the hearts. Give before you receive. Law number 6 is to always ask for what you want. And law number 7 is to be, feel, and speak your truth. There is no faster way to grow your audience. See, I know a lot of us need help with Instagram, but I'm not sure specifically why you showed up today. Maybe you're frustrated that your engagement sucks, right? It could be that you're just done with attracting the wrong followers, or even worse, gaining and losing followers every day. Or maybe you've heard the buzz and excitement around how other people are having success with Instagram and you wanted to see how you can make it work for you. Or maybe you're just quarantined at home and you just wanted to hang out because you're bored. And if that's the case, hey, no skin off my back. We can hang out anytime. So Instagram rocks, and it can literally transform your entire business and your life. Right? See, I believe that if you've been on this call up to this point, and we've had like an amazing attendance right now. Thank you, everyone. See, I know that you have what it takes to excel with your Instagram. And this is something that you can get started with right now. And please remember, right? Nothing I've shared was just theory or fluff or things that might work. This is exactly what I've done in my business to attract thousands of followers who know me personally, right? And turn them into customers and grow my income. And I've helped hundreds achieve the same results, right? But it's all about taking baby steps and taking action right now. And it doesn't matter, if you're new to the platform, or if you have that tech phobe that we've been talking about, or, let me tell you, a lot of people are afraid of tech. It all comes down to taking action right now. And some of the biggest benefits of obeying the laws, the 7 laws of Instagram, you're going to be your authentic self and own it proudly. You're going to create better content in less time. Your engagement is going to increase with genuine human connection and none of those bots, right? And most importantly, your wallet will get bigger, right? See, if there's one thing to take away, just one, I've literally cracked the code and hacked the 7 laws in order to show anybody how to get out of their own way, how to get out of their own head. And it's literally changed my world and the world of my students. See, notice how I didn't even mention once about hashtags or having the perfect feed or how to use engagement stickers or how to post to your stories. Everything has to do with you. It's the person behind the business. It's the person behind the Instagram profile. This is the evolution of Instagram marketing. And you can make a lot of money doing this and, transform yourself into a confident, creative marketing master. So the obvious question is, how can you apply this system for leveraging the 7 laws and profit from Instagram? See, you have a choice. We all have choices. Choice is a human nature. See, you could do it the slow way through trial and error by taking some of what I've taught you and, trying it out, or you can do it quickly using my signature membership group, Mind Over Media. So what is Mind Over Media? I hear everybody asking, hey, John, what's Mind Over Media? See, Mind Over Media, you're going to get access to my complete step-by-step program called IG Mastery. This is the foundation for your Instagram growth. And this is all being revised as we speak right now. IG Mastery is my baby. It's literally taught hundreds of entrepreneurs how to use Instagram. But not only that, it literally takes you from being like an Instagram beginner to an Instagram master. It's the quickest and most effective way to get from point A to point B. And it doesn't end there, right? So what exactly is it? Mind Over Media is a monthly membership group that not only helps you implement the 7 laws, but it's dedicated to you leveling up as the entrepreneur. Everything you do begins with you. This is the evolution. Mind Over Media is here to help you get out of your own way and help you feel confident in who you are. It's a community of smart and savvy entrepreneurs to support you, encourage you along the way. So I'd love for you to imagine just for a moment here, being able to tell your unique story, eliminating content creation overwhelm, attracting your ideal clients or customers, creating real relationships of not just followers, but like raving fans, people who like you, not your logo, and making more sales with confidence. So I'd love to introduce to you Mind Over Media. This was an idea that sparked in my mind because I knew that this is what everybody was going to be needing now. And all you have to do is just show up each month. So I'm going to show you what's included for you. Number 1, this is where the good stuff comes in. Ladies and gentlemen, monthly live classes. Each month, I'll go live inside the membership, and I'm going to be teaching you and the rest of the members the latest Instagram marketing strategies, things that are working right now. So no more outdated course material, right? This is all live. This is stuff that I deliver to you live. It's all consistent. It's all relative. So it's all relevant content. It's going to help you save. It's going to help you. It's going to get saved and be put inside the members area. You'll be able to get access to all live trainings whenever you want. You're also going to be getting, this is one of the greatest, monthly classes by experts in different niches. So Instagram is just like one part of your business, right? There's many parts of your business, and we've already had some amazing people come in and teach mindset. We've had people come in and teach podcasting. We've had amazing people come in and teach different areas of business. So Instagram, like I said, is hands down the best social media tool for your business, but it doesn't end there. I want you to level up all areas of your business. Each month, I'm going to be bringing in an expert in their specific field, right, to present a master class, just something similar to this, right? Things like, list building, email list. Have you ever heard your business is your list, right? Copywriting funnels, the law of attraction, learning abundance, outsourcing, and so much more, right? And all classes will be saved and added to the members area. You're also going to be getting live Q&As, right? The quality of life is determined by the quality of questions we ask ourselves. You ask a better question, you get a better answer. Can I get an amen in the comments, please? Right? So, I think asking questions is literally the key to solving life's problems. Am I right? Right? You ask a better question, you get a better answer. That's why, you'll be able to use this platform in order to ask any questions that you might have, including, just not just for Instagram, but in your business in itself. We're also going to be getting monthly hot seats, which is very cool. Listen to this. So if you want feedback from me during this live hot seat, I bring in chosen people, specifically those who want to be on live, right? So they're going to be getting direct coaching from me live in front of the other members, while other members are welcome to come in and watch. And you'll be able to ask your questions and get your feedback. And see, one of the most amazing things that I have realized is that the people watching the person getting coached usually gets more value than the person getting coached themselves, right? So a lot of us have the same questions. A lot of us have the same obstacles and things like that. So you'll be able to get indirect coaching from these hot seats that we go live every single month. And this is also saved, put in the members areas, right? We'll be able to go deep into your mindset and help you break through any limiting beliefs, because you guys should already know this is my forte over here, right? Any beliefs or blocks that you might have or perspectives that are holding you back, this is where the real work happens. And you'll also get access to my special signature course, IG Mastery. This is being revised, as I said. IG Mastery is my signature program. It was designed to take you from an IG beginner to an IG master. We cover so many things inside here. I've gotten such great feedback. This is all included in the membership. So the real question, okay, John, you have literally talked so much during this time. Get to the point. How much will this cost? Right? Let me tell you something. It's worth more than $97 a month, but you're not going to be paying $97 a month for this. It's not even $67 a month. And right here already, like, this is already nuts to be lower than $67 a month. Believe me, it's crazy at this point. See, so the entire membership is only $47 a month. That's it. And we have yearly payment options, so you can even save more money. Pay $470 for the entire year. You save 2 payments. It's almost $100 that you save when you pay in full, right? Plus, I'm going to be giving this group 2 essential bonuses. Number 1 bonus, having an abundant money mindset workshop that is included when you purchase today. You're going to get the step-by-step framework showing you exactly how to achieve an abundant money mindset. And number 2 bonus is how to effectively use Instagram in only 20 minutes a day. You're going to uncover your crucial items that you need to spend less time on to get more results, right? And you'll also get my 100% satisfaction guarantee. Listen, if you're not happy, and I come from a place of service, right? If you're not happy with Mind Over Media, you can easily cancel at any time. I'm not going to ask you any questions or anything. I want you to look at some of these success stories. This is a screenshot of when I first went live on Instagram. This was not too long ago. This is maybe last year. And in 12 minutes, I made $1,000 in only 12 minutes. This is all done by using the tools taught that I teach inside this membership. How many of you would love to make $1,000 in only 12 minutes on going on an Instagram live? Like, that sounds insane to some people. This is Nancy. Nancy is a money coach. And when Nancy came, she had no Instagram account. She had no followers. She had nothing. She didn't even have an account. And when Nancy took all the trainings inside Mind Over Media, she not only grew her account to over 1,000 followers, but let's look at the real facts, because followers aren't everything, right? Not only did she do that, but she ended up creating her own course and started selling them on Instagram. She just messaged me yesterday. Okay. She just messaged me yesterday and she said, John, I personally did a post about telling stories on Instagram. And when I was telling stories on Instagram, when I was telling about sharing your story, she wanted to tell her own story. So what did she do? She told her own story. She posted to Instagram. With one post, she made 2 sales. She sold 2 spots to her courses in just one post. She made $500 like that. All just one post by applying all the things that we teach inside the membership. This is one of my favorite success stories. Not the greatest story to tell, but a very heartfelt story. See, this is Pam. Pam was 68 years old. She had mediocre tech skills, and she took the training to the point where she went from knowing nothing on Instagram to being able to manage, becoming like a social media manager, managing 3 different accounts for other clients of hers. Right? Mind Over Media helped her gain the confidence with a platform that was dominated by a younger generation. And then she was able to secure an income. This is a 68-year-old senior citizen woman who knew nothing about Instagram. And she was able to take everything that was taught and apply it herself. But if you look over there, it says for Pam, written by Tanya. Tanya was Pam's daughter. Because Pam ended up passing away last year. And I reached out to Tanya and, I checked up on her and how are you doing? And then she ended up writing this testimonial for me because she knew that her mom, Pam, would want to tell the story of how, a 68-year-old woman who knew nothing about social media was able to really not just hone in, but create a business and sustain her life. It was an incredible story. So all you have to do is just go over to johnferrard.com/mindovermedia and sign up right now. Or follow me on Instagram at John Ferrara Official. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Someone write it in there. Tawanda, if you're there, type it into the comments. But just head over to www.johnferrard.com/mindovermedia and sign up right now. This is only for $47 a month, right? The price will go up as this membership grows. As this membership increases, as this membership becomes better, the price will go up. I already raised the price. It was $27 a month, right? But now that it's grown so much, it is now $47 a month, and it's only going to go up from here to that $97 a month that I showed you previously. So another fast acting bonus, because I don't want to spend all night over here taking up all your time during this quarantine. But those of you who sign up within the next, let's say 10 minutes, right, you're going to get Defining Your Target Audience on Instagram workbook. Now, those of you who asked, hey, John, how do I know who my target audience is? How do I know who to post for? I don't know who I'm posting for. This is the workbook you want. This is the workbook that you're going to find inside of IG Mastery. And it's going to allow you to get super clear on who your ideal audience is on Instagram with this easy to follow workbook. And it says done already. Beautiful. Congratulations. So all you have to do is head over to johnferrard.com/mindovermedia. Sign up right now. I'm not going to stay on for a while. I'm going to do a little Q&A with everyone. Make sure to answer everybody's burning desire questions while you go to johnferrard.com/mindovermedia and sign up. Don't forget, you're going to get the monthly live classes by me. I'm going to be teaching you the latest and greatest on Instagram. You're going to be getting the classes by other experts in different areas, live Q&As, and monthly hot seats. So let's get into some questions, shall we? Does anybody have any questions regarding Instagram? Doesn't have to be about Mind Over Media. If you want to ask me questions about Instagram or need some feedback or want me to take a look at anything or anything like that, I'm only going to spend just a little bit of time on here. And then everybody's going to have an amazing night. If you're watching this on a replay, I thank you for joining us. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have anything that they would love for me to answer? Any feedback regarding Instagram? I'm not going to spend all night here. Like I said, I'm just going to spend maybe another 10 minutes or so, and then we are done. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done. I'm just going to see and wait for some questions to come through. Does anybody have any questions? Anything about Instagram? Type in your questions right now in the comment section. So here we go. Oh, we got some questions here. So Lorna, do hashtags really matter that much? Hashtags don't matter as much as which hashtags you are using. So what that looks like is in order to increase your reach, if you have a great set of hashtags, and I actually have a free workbook that you can download, johnferrar.com/hashtag. That is going to show you, give you a real good guideline on how to find the right hashtags to use. So hashtags, yeah, absolutely matter. I mean, if you want to increase your reach and have more people find you, yeah, I would suggest you use hashtags. Now, you're able to use a maximum of 30 hashtags. Here comes the kind of contradiction. Some people think that you should use less than 30 hashtags. Some people think that you should use 30 hashtags. Some people think that you should put hashtags as a first comment. Some people think that you should put hashtags in the caption. And to answer that question, number one, where do hashtags go? It doesn't matter. They work the same as a first comment or inside your caption. They all work the same. Number two, Instagram gives you 30 hashtags to use. They give that to you. Why would you not want to use all 30 to increase your reach? So yeah, absolutely. Hashtags really do matter. Tawanda says, how often should you post stories? That's a great question. And my answer to that is a two-part answer. Number one, every day. Number two, post whenever you feel aligned with what you're posting and with what you want to share. And if you go through a day, and this is me as well, if you go through a day and there is something that you don't feel like sharing, or if you just don't feel like posting that day, don't post. But ideally, every day is great. Ideally, I wouldn't say post your feed every day. That's where the real value comes in. Your story is going to be more, light content, things that are going to, you don't have to put a lot of effort into it because it gets deleted 24 hours prior or after. So when it actually comes to, creating stories, just do it as you feel aligned to do it and bring people along. But make sure, you use the stories as a platform to tell a story, and a story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. How many of you have actually watched someone's story? They tell you, hey, we're going to go here today. And then they show you what's happening. And all of a sudden you don't know what happens in the end. It's like a story without an ending. It's a story without, it's a story without an ending. So make sure you treat it as a story and you tell the story of your day or whatever you're bringing your audience on. Lorna, is it better to post in your stories or in your feed? Both. You need both. Have to do it both. Not a lot of people there's some people that put more attention on the feed. There's some people that put more attention on the story. And there's some people that put more attention on both. They're just both important in their own way. Now, I talk about the different neighborhoods of Instagram, and you have IGTV, you have Instagram Live, you have your Instagram feed, and you have your Instagram stories, and you have your direct messages. It is important to be active on all of these platforms consistently. Now, consistently doesn't mean every hour of every day. Consistency means whenever you feel aligned to share something that matches your truth, that delivers value, then you post. right? And it doesn't matter if you do that in your stories or in your feed. Usually what I do personally is I use my feed for more in-depth content, and my stories is more, hey, you get to know who I am. You get to know John Ferrara behind the scenes, behind the business, behind the hat, right? You get to see me through stories. So I use stories as a tool to increase that know, like, and trust factor. Next question is, if you're an event planner, is this something you need as far as YouTube? I'm gonna say, is it Raquel? Is it Raquel or Rochelle? Let me know. You might want to spell like R-O and just spell it the way it sounds. But I'm gonna go with Rochelle for now. If you're an event planner, yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you right now, if your ideal audience is on Instagram, done. Like, I don't even have to say more. If your ideal audience is on Instagram, then yeah, your audience is on Instagram and you are missing out. Especially nowadays, everybody's on their phone. We're in the middle of a lockdown, quarantine, pandemic kind of thing where social media has skyrocketed through the roof, right? And everybody's on it. So it's a great opportunity now. Please take advantage. Even if you don't join Mind Over Media, if there's one thing that you take away from this entire presentation, is to really take advantage of everybody using the platform right now. It's a very important thing. So I'm going to say, yeah, even if you're an event planner, and I know that there are tons of event planners, let me tell you something. There will be events to throw. And even if, just throwing this out there because it's going to happen, or it already has happened, people are starting to host online events. This is another way to pivot in your business in order to stay relevant during this pandemic. And people are using Instagram and other platforms, but mainly Instagram, to not only grow their reach and their audience, but to connect with their potential audiences. Because when this pandemic is over, let me tell you, the event industry is going to skyrocket because they won't be able to wait enough. They can't wait to start throwing events and hosting parties and getting together and being with people. Great question. Lorna, how do you encourage your audience to engage on your posts? Excellent question. You tell them to engage on your post. Simple as that. You tell them to share something of that. You tell them to, and you ask a question and you answer. One of the things that I love doing is, after I've written my caption and I've delivered a whole bunch of value, what I do is I say, which one are you? Are you A, are you B, or are you C? Right? And for whatever reason, people love answering that question. That will increase so that's the call to action, right? Are you A? Are you B? Are you C? Let me know in the comments. No different, and keep in mind, I've done this right in front of your eyes, no different than when I engage you watching me live right now, asking, hey, let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. Let me know in the comments. Type yes. Can I get an amen? You tell them to engage. You lead the way for them to engage. That's the best way. Best way to increase your engagement. And not only that, what I found is when you're creating content, some of the best things to do is to create content that sparks an emotion, that sparks, and this emotion can be anything: happy, excited, even sad emotions will spark some sort of reaction. But if you can get somebody into their core and really spark a real emotion, game over. Louisa, what is the best time of the day to post? Another great question. Another question that I get asked a lot. John, what is the best time to post? And the answer to that is, there is no answer to that question, because everybody's time is going to be different. My time is different than your time is different, than Lorna's time is different than Victoria's time, than Louisa's time. It's all different. because we have different audiences and we have people from different parts of the world. We ourselves are from different parts of the world. We all have different time zones. We all have different opinions. We all have different content that we share. So based on how your audience reacts to your content will determine the best time for you to post. But I can tell you where you can find the best times to post for you. And that is easily found in your Instagram insights. All you have to do is tap on your insights, look under audience, and you'll see that Instagram divides the best times to post by a graph. I think it's a chart, and the chart is the intensity of the time, and the better the time, the deeper the color blue Instagram uses. So if it's a very light shade of blue, that's a very slow time to post. But if the shade is darker, and you'll see the graph will show you the best times and the most engagement. Just look at your insights, and that's the best way to know. And there's also other platforms that you can use in order to know this kind of content. For example, it's called what's it called? Not Social Blade is one of them, and what's another one called? I'm going to tell you right now. It is an Instagram insight tool, Iconosquare. That's what it is. So you can use an app called Iconosquare, and that'll also give you feedback on when the best time to post is. But in the end of the day, Instagram insights are just as good, and they'll just tell you straight up when the best time. Lorna, for our line of business, how do we make our audience know the value we are offering in our services? That's going to be for you to decide, because once you know your audience, you're going to need to know what they want to see. And in order for you to effectively communicate what you are able to deliver to them, that's going to be the value. You need to ask yourself, how am I going to be able to effectively communicate all the value that I'm able to deliver? Right? And you do that by showing up. Your industry of event planning, and I'm no expert, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but wouldn't you love to really get to know your event planner before you allow them to plan your event? Hint, hint, right? And one of the best ways to really show up and get your audience to know, or your potential client to know, like, and trust you, is to show them who you are. So if you want to deliver them content that's going to get them to know the value you're offering, get on, show them who you are, tell them stories, talk about testimonials, tell them stories of past clients. And you'll see that with the interaction, you'll begin to know what they're struggling with. And when you know what they're struggling with and what they want to know, I guarantee, if I ask you the question right now in the comments, name one thing your audience, as an event planner, name one thing that your audience really needs help with. Choosing a venue, maybe? I don't know. I'm no expert. You guys are the experts. You tell me. What do they need help with? How to maybe save money when it comes to events? We don't know. You guys know, not me. You tell me. And when you know, I would love to know, right in the comments. It might take a while for me to get there, but when you know what your audience wants to see more of, you'll be able to deliver that content more. But it all happens with that initial interaction and engagement. The best way to increase that engagement, the best way to really get your audience to know you and take part in your content, is for you to also engage first. You reach out to them. You like their pictures. You comment. You engage first. You don't go into a dinner party and, stand in the corner drinking your glass of wine and just being very cold to everybody. No, you go into the party, you engage with people, you talk to people, you ask them questions. No different. Instagram is no different. Victoria, I boosted an ad and I've gained followers. Is that what's called organic followers? No, that's called paid advertisement. Organic followers is when they find you organically, or they find you from somebody, from someone who like a friend of a friend telling somebody else about you. That's organic. Organic means authentic. What you did was just paid advertising, which is fine. Which is fine. It doesn't necessarily mean that the followers are not real. They're real followers. They just didn't find you organically. Facebook and Instagram put your ad in front of their faces with paid advertisement. Rochelle, awesome. Yes, data is awesome. Exactly. It goes back to knowing your audience. Yes, exactly. Right. Thank you, Lorna. So basically, I'm going to see more. So basically, event planners have to stop posting things that they think will impress other event planners. See what just happened there? That's what I'm talking about. That is mind over media right there, right? So basically, event planners have to stop posting things that they think will impress other event planners and start posting content that is impressive and helpful to our audience and clients. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that make sense? Of course it makes sense. Like, yeah, you should be clapping. Everybody should be clapping. Like, a lot of the times when you use hashtags and it's like hashtag event planner, guess what? Everybody who's an event planner is going to be using the hashtags. You're going to be attracting more event planners. But let me tell you something. If you know your ideal audience, it's one that says, let the church say amen. That's right. If you know your ideal audience is a woman, let's say, and this particular woman, I'm going to use my example, loves to shop at Target. And this particular woman is a mom. And this particular woman is not only a mom, she's a mother of two. She owns her own business and she loves to shop at Target. How many of you are mothers? By the way, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in here. How many of you are mothers and love to shop at Target? Well, guess what? I'm not going to be posting hashtag Instagram strategy, hashtag Instagram expert, hashtag I am the best Instagram man ever. No, I'm going to be posting hashtag target moms. Why? Because that is where my ideal audience is hanging out. They're not hanging out in hashtag Instagram expert. No, they're hanging out in target moms. They're using these hashtags. You need to know what hashtags they're using. You need to go deep into what hashtags they're using. And this is what I teach you. This is the kind of stuff you're going to learn in Mind Over Media. Miranda says, should you use the hashtags that have the most people in that category? Absolutely. Yes and no. That's my answer. So if you actually go into, Lorna posted it. It was johnferraro.com/hashtag. You'll be able to download my free hashtag book. And in there, what I do is I teach you what's called the 10-10-10 hashtag technique. And this technique allows you to separate your hashtags in the amount of times they have been used. For example, or because I should say, if you use a hashtag that's been used 100 million times, what are the chances of you being visible long enough for somebody to find you? Very slim to none, if ever. So what I teach you is to divide your hashtags into 3 categories. That's the 10-10-10. And because you only have a maximum of 30 hashtags, the first set of 10 hashtags are 0 to 10,000 times being used. The second is you use 10,000 to 100,000, and then, to 999,000. And then in the seventh is the 7-figure. It's 1 million times being used or more. And when you do that, and when you separate it, the 0 to 10 hashtags, the million hashtags plus the 7 figures, I call them 7, 6, and 5 figure. The 7-figure hashtags is going to give you that initial boost. The 6-figure hashtags is going to almost level off your visibility. And then the 5-figure hashtag is just going to keep you visible for longer down the road. And that's how you use hashtags. So it's not always a good idea to use all of your hashtags with hashtags that have been used millions of times, because you and everybody else and their dog and their cat are using the same hashtags. The chances of you being found are very slim to none. So, ladies and gentlemen, I guess that brings me to the end of this presentation. I thank you all for your time. I thank you for your attention. I thank you for your patience. And I thank you, Lorna, for giving me the privilege to serve this audience. Such an amazing audience. You guys are great. The engagement tonight was spectacular. I know that we're all in a very uncertain time right now. We're all in a very, we don't know what's going to happen. And that's why like it bringing or having an online business or bringing your business online is something that is so important to me, and it should be to you. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget Mind Over Media, $47 a month, johnferrara.com/Mind Over Media. Sign up. And those on the replay, go ahead and sign up. If you have any questions, also make sure you are following me on Instagram at John Ferrara Official. I expect to see my following blow up tonight with all those at John Ferrara Official. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. Lisa, thank you. Tawanda, thank you so much. Patience, beautiful name. Thank you so much. Tomika, thank you so much. Miranda, Louisa, Melissa, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Lorna, thank you so much for bringing me into this group and allowing me to share my thoughts, my emotions, my story with your audience. It's been such a pleasure, and thank you. It's been such a pleasure. You gave 7 valuable tips. Ladies and gentlemen, the 7 laws of Instagram are not just about Instagram. You apply them to all areas of your life, and you'll see how much more you will prosper in this world. Thank you, guys. This was really good information. Thank you so much for being so receiving to this. So, like I said, follow me on Instagram at John Ferrara Official. I expect to see my following explode tonight, even though it's not about the followers. But I just want to be in contact with you. I want to be, I want you to join my community, not just Mind Over Media, but my community on Instagram. We have such a great community over there. That's where I believe Tawanda is part of that community. She's such a great part of that community, and she engages, and she's a great example of what it means to be a great follower. And I don't necessarily like to use the word followers when it comes to my community. I like to say like community members, right? I like to say call them friends, right? The word follower kind of puts me up here and you down here, and I don't like that. I like being, on the same plane as you. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for the 7 laws of Instagram, and I will see you on Instagram. Have a nice night. Lorna, thanks again, and we will see you around. Take care, everyone.